Welcome, good people. Yeah, for some reason we were having trouble getting in here. The title itself is alarming. So, they don't like a lot of grit. But we do what we're supposed to do. We give it to you the way it's supposed to be given. Now, I didn't come up with this. I didn't cook something up to just so I could throw Kobe Bryant's name in it and make it something that they don't want it to be. I'm quite sure they have a lot of things, mute for reasons that they know of, that they're not going to share with the rest of us. But we all know what it is. And as long as we know, that's the strongest point. We know. Another thing, it's early in the morning, but other people can watch it later and get caught up with what's going on. Because you never want to bring anything up that's negative or something that's dark back up to the light again. So the family have to relive all these bad things that happen. You don't want to be that guy, to do that. So when we do something like this, it's coming from a different place. We're going to give it to you the raw way, because it felt like this needed to be said. Now, Kobe was leaving Nike, but let's go through the events. On the Patreon later today, you are going to have this in very much more detail than what you're looking at right now. You understand? And there's reason for that. There's a complete reason for that. And the reason being is that here, they're probably not going to allow me to go as far as I need to go. Now, when Kobe retired back in 2016, there were people around Kobe involved in his shoes that he was working on with his team and things of that nature, and that this Kobe brand would continue. It would not fade away or become something that was distant or not working anymore, in other words. So Eric Avar, who's the Nike designer, who worked with Kobe since, I believe, they had the Kobe fives was out. And, they went fishing together. This guy was one of Kobe's most trusted people with his brand. Like, Kobe's very vocal. He don't bite his tongue. He's very direct with what he wants. So you come in there and like, hey, you're an amazing basketball. He don't want that. He's there for the business. Like, we're here to talk about the shoe. Let's design this shoe. So when he got to the Kobe 10s, when they did the Kobe 10s, those 4 bars, Kobe stopped production so they can add those 4 stripes in the back. Do you know why those 4 stripes were added? They added those four stripes in the back of the on the back of the sole, four red stripes. That's the four marks and stitches that they had to repair and sew together his Achilles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when you got the Kobe 10s and you see those four, that's what it was about. But now we got to speed it up and get it caught up to date a little bit with what's been going on. So in 2017, Mark Parker, who is one of the biggest endorsers of Nike, loves Kobe Bryant to death. Him and Kobe were like this, spoke on the phone all the time. And one of the biggest, he's like one of the Nike's senior executives. Nike decided once Kobe retired that, they kind of went their way. Kobe was doing other things, but still, they kind of pivoted away from the Kobes and said, let's focus on these new athletes that are coming up. Because they missed the ball with Steph Curry, and they knew they couldn't get him from Under Armour because of the way they were represented before. So they missed the bubble with Steph Curry. And now all this new talent is coming into the league. They want to make sure that they're able to capture that. So 2017, Kobe's getting into a lot of different areas of business, tech and everything else. He's preparing for a life outside of basketball, but he doesn't want the shoe brand to dissipate. And what he was seeing was a lack of communication that was going on with him and Nike. He saw, and don't forget to hit the like button for this, man. This is ridiculous. 8 likes. I mean, I know they're sabotaging this live. We already know that. But you guys can fight back. You guys determine that. So definitely hit the like button. Subscribe. If you've never subscribed to this page before, subscribe and hit that notification button. Now, here's the thing. Thank you. Now, here's the thing that people need to be listening to. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, Kobe was very furious because his attention at the place, at the Nike offices, his calls weren't really being heard. He's Kobe Bryant, but he's like, okay, he's the past. We're moving on to the future and trying to get these new athletes going and trying to use Kobe in a cross promotion with other athletes to build up their brands. It was not what Kobe wanted. He was insulted that they even brought that to the presentation table to waste his time, as in the Kobe words, waste his time to come down there to hear something that insulting. Because Kobe felt, I'm on Jordan's level, and you will never have Michael Jordan do that. I want what Jordan had. Jordan has his own brand. I want my brand of shoe, the Mambas. They were, oh, well, that's a certain situation that's special. And Michael has been with us since the start. And he was, he got this and that. We'll have to sit down, and it's going to take a lot of conversations, Kobe. But I'll tell you what, Kobe had just did a deal with Sports Academy. So Sports Academy and his Mamba brand became Mamba Sports Academy. He wanted to make sure that Nike, make the brand. So they designed all these logos and had all these ideas. Kobe sketched a lot of them out himself for the logo. Most he got from from Conan the Barbarian, the movie. Kobe is a big fan of Conan the Barbarian, and that was heavily around the unions of the snake and the worship of snakes, and how they had the logos was designed and all the snakes coming together, and how it was read. And he wanted the Mamba Academy to be just that. So Kobe saw that and said, "Oh," and start having ideas for the Mamba and making the snake go in all different directions and doing all these different ideas. So he came up with the concept art. So Nike said, "Okay, we'll start printing these shirts and hoodies." And so they start making Mamba Academy stuff. Mamba, 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 with Nike on it. As they were baiting Kobe and keeping him on board with what was happening. So what they were actually pushing was that, okay, Kobe, this Mamba thing we got, but we're not going to give you your own brand. You'll still be a part of Nike, and we'll work on the contingents of how this works. But Nike's going to be the guys that's really running the show. You could just go out and be Kobe. That's not what Kobe wanted. Kobe's like, you guys are wasting my time. This is why I'm going down this way in this area that I'm going through. So Kobe, to show that he was serious, started meeting with a lot of powerful people who were involved in, branding and getting the ideas that he wanted. So he met with another brand of shoemaker. Thank you. And they met with some very powerful people who Usain Bolt's manager, to be exact. That's the person you see on the thumbnail from the actual meeting Kobe Bryant took with them. And they presented their package to Kobe and what they can give him and what Kobe wanted. And they said, you have it. He was not impressed the way Nike let his brand go into the toilet. His signature brand, his signature, everything, they were ruining it. The designs, everything. And Kobe's relationship with Eric Avar was being strained because of it. Like, what are you guys doing with my brand, with my shoes? So the sales are not happening. They're not taking off because you guys are not marketing it correctly. And they weren't. They were looking at new talent, new players that's playing in the league. And they're like, Kobe, you're not in the league anymore, as if he wasn't going to be significant. And Kobe's like, they have no vision. They're blind. They're so wrong. And he was going to prove them wrong. So what Kobe was going to do is start his own company called Mamba. And he went and actually teamed up with Chevron Pishavar. That's the venture capitalist. And he teamed up with him, and Kobe was going to have his own creative team that he's going to put together for his own company and his own shoe called Mambas. Now, a lot of people in the world didn't know it. Now, we got this going on the Patreon later today. So if you signed up, all the VIP members of the Patreon, you guys will get this. Thank you for all the 15 million alerts. Hmm. Okay. What people don't know is that Kobe was full speed ahead. Nike got wind that Kobe was leaving, and they wanted to work things out. They wanted to work things out. Okay, now I'm ticked off here. And because of it, they tried to have a meeting with Kobe. And because it coincided with his daughter's game, Kobe didn't go. And that was in December of 2019. His daughter had a game, and Kobe was gonna definitely couldn't make it to an event. They rescheduled another meeting with Kobe in February. They had a time on his schedule in February that they were supposed to meet to do a last pitch to try to come up with an idea that would work best for Kobe. That's something that he was going to be very happy with. They were like, "You're going to be happy, Kobe. Let's listen to us before you make any decisions. Before you do something wrong, listen to us and listen to our pitch and listen what we got for you." Told you we had to go through a lot of channels and a lot of you're gonna like this and blah 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 blah. So in February, they were supposed to meet with Kobe. He didn't get there. And for your viewing pleasures, here the first look at the Kobe Mambas is gonna be on the Patreon early today. Those were the Kobe Mambas ones. Kobe's first shoe from his own company. Now, as I told you, right, it would look entirely different once because they haven't even put the logo on it. That's the concept, but that's the way the design was. It was futuristic. It was something Kobe wanted something that you could fashionably wear outside with suits. Like if you got on a business suit and you had these shoes on, it had like the snake skin on the front. It was gonna be black snake skin. Then you could actually wear out and play ball in. So with the Mamba brand, he was going to make Mamba an entirely huge company, globally, internationally. Nike knew this was going to be a threat to the signature brand of Kobe that they already owned at Nike. Now, for those in the VIP of the Patreon, you guys will see this and can go further with the story. You just now know the layers. Hey, I'm just telling you what happened. You can paint your own conspiracy or whatever. I'm just telling you this is what went down. I didn't design those shoes. You know what I'm saying? Today, around 11 o'clock, you'll be able to see it on the Patreon. The VIP members only will be able to see it. Um, I don't know, Milwaukee boy. I mean, we're not in here saying that. We're just telling you what actually happened. You can draw the conclusions on your own. I mean, we actually use people names. I mean, this is not like it's just coming from me. Yeah, he didn't trust Nike anymore with his brand. So he didn't want them to screw up the Mamba brand because they were screwing up his signature, the Kobe Bryant signature shoes and everything else. He's like they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and Nike was being very distant to him. You know, you'll learn more of that on the Patreon. Those who care about the shoe game, the business, and everything else, you'll learn about that on the Patreon. You'll see what Nike did. You'll see a lot of stuff. Uh, yeah, so don't forget to hit the like button too for this. And if you want to support the page, the Cash App is Carcino. Nike made a lot of money. Please don't ever say nothing about LeBron carrying a torch of Kobe Bryant's. Kobe don't need anyone to carry his torch. His children will carry his torch. And damn sure wouldn't be him. Oh, I just got a Cash App alert. Oh, that's Careless Levert. Garden Boy. The Careless Levert song. You know I made that up. You know I made that up on the fly. I made that Careless Levert song up on the fly. And he's like, I could tell. Somebody was like, man, dude, I need that song. I was like, what song are they talking about? Yeah, that Careless Levert song, man. That is too funny. Somebody said it had sounded familiar, and then they didn't even recognize where it came from. They didn't even remember. Yeah, it was some strange events that happened, right before he passed. That's just too tragic to go down that road. But yeah, it was a lot of weirdness. But that's as a business and a company, no matter how much money you're bringing in at a certain period of time, when you go cold, they turn their back on you. Or if you're not, they wanted Kobe to do things that Kobe didn't want to do, and he felt he shouldn't have to do. But when Kobe left the game, Kobe was still one of the biggest athletes in the world, even though his game wasn't the same as it used to be when he was the Kobe Bryant from all the injuries. And when he left, but he's Kobe Bryant. When he walks into a place, that's it. It's over. Like it's about Kobe. But he did not want to have anything to really do with the game anymore. Like he was didn't care who won, who lost. He was like I'm done. Like I don't even want to come back. People like, man, you don't get that itch. He didn't have that itch to come back because he was involved in other things. If he probably didn't have that, he'd probably be thinking about it. Remember when the season was happening, they were like, oh, Kobe's gonna come back and join LeBron and help the Lakers out. Remember because the Lakers were losing that first season and all that turmoil was going on. It was like Kobe may come back, and Kobe had to come out and just to kill that noise that he's not coming back to play with no LeBron. That's out. Nike was treating it as if it was a reality. Like, we need this to sell the shoes, like we're gonna come out with new shoes, and now we got the rumor Kobe might be coming back. And here we got new shoes coming out from the new Kobe's. We need that marketing. Kobe wasn't interested. Hit the like button, new people that just walked through the door, so they can know you're not a bot. He said, "Send me the Patreon. This is all I got." Oh, of course, Mamba brand was gonna take off. You would have had players rocking Mamba. He would have signed hat. Think about it. If Kobe comes out with a brand of shoe and he's coming out, you know how many players in this league that came up off Kobe? They'd have been switching over to the Mambas. I'll rock that Mamba gear. Shoot, I'll rock the gear. The black with the white. I'd have rocked them shoes. They need to put those shoes out right now. They should still put the shoe out. I'll tell his wife right now, look, them Mambas need to come out. Come out with that Mamba brand. Y'all already own the name Mamba. Put those Mambas out for Kobe. He was already leaving them. Leave them. Yeah, a lot of people didn't trust Jeffrey Steibel, but that's a whole nother situation. Again, that's on the Patreon too. So if you VIP on the Patreon, you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot. It was so painful, I didn't even want to make a video about it. And I didn't make a video about it because that's how much hurtful that is. When Vanessa's mom was suing Kobe Bryant's estate, for money because she want money and more money. And you could tell when someone's interest is not where it should be. It's painful. It's real painful. So not for money and views and nothing in the world was I going to promote her doing that. So it was a hot topic for everybody else. They jumped on it. I'm not mad at them for doing it. I just wasn't going to do it. Who is Chris? You said Chris G hate black women. What? Where did that even come from? Lynn Brooke, hit that like button. That's what's up. Yep, you want to support the page? My Cash App name is Carcino. The business world is cold. The whole world is cold. You said at Russ Walker. I don't even see Russ Walker. Well, Russ Walker said proof. You see, it's just what I'm saying. It's always those people. They never can believe anything because they can't imagine. Their minds are very short. They can't think past a certain level. So as soon as somebody says something, they automatically shoot it down. That's a lie. Prove it. Because they can't, their brain won't allow them to think or expand. That happened to me my whole life. But if I was them, I would have felt this probably the same way about some of the stuff that I've been through. If I told you I knew Floyd Mayweather, I knew Keenan and Kel, I knew Nick Cannon, I knew all these people, and I'm sitting at the same job as you, and you're looking like, this dude is delusional. Prove it. So you got to think how the other person might feel. And you can give them perfect logical reason as to how you know these people. And they'll still sit there and be like, then why are you here? Because they believe in order to know these people, you have to be rich and have the same job they got. That's what they programmed in their brain to believe. I'm like, well, there were a time when they didn't have any money. There was a time where I had more money than Floyd Mayweather. It wasn't much, but it was more than what he had. He didn't have any money. But he acted like he was a millionaire. You right, Smash Ball. But the thing is, I can't blame him. I used to be that guy. Because when you grow up in the projects like we did, we grow up, we see people on TV, we thinking they stars. Like they ain't nobody from here could ever do that. We all we best can do is work and get a job. That's it. Be glad you got a job. Kumar Kendricks, I don't post lies. I'm not gonna say breaking news with something about Kobe Bryant without it being 100% factual. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This news is actually coming from the person that is partnered with Kobe Bryant, who was getting ready to design the shoes, the company, the investor, everybody. The photo that's the thumbnail that you see now, you have never seen that photo before. That photo of Kobe hugging that woman is Hussein Bolt's manager. She was in there brokering this deal. Kobe was getting his own brand of shoe, the Mambas. They had it designed. I just showed you. It's all gonna be on the Patreon, on the VIPs. So if you ain't want the Casino for Life Patreon, and it all came out yesterday, right? And I had it all set to go, but there's other moving parts in it that you didn't know. Now it's starting to leak out. Nike was still in a bid to try to keep him. They wanted to keep Kobe, but he was not very happy with the way they ruined his signature brand. And that's why I wish LB was here for this, because LB, he could tell you flat out about the shoe game. I told you, I didn't believe any of this was possible until Kel from Kenyon and Kel Mitchell, lived around the corner from my house. Used to break dance in the street, who was in a little rap group with my cousin. They became famous. And I'm like, that little guy from around the corner who used to break dance in the street is now famous? That's crazy to me. So to watch how the insides of the business worked and how it wasn't all glamour and glitz. You think these guys got personal chefs and people all cook for them, and this was a job. They had to work. And you seeing all the actors you see on TV, you like, man, they stars. They wasn't really stars at all. Them people like, you gonna finish them fries? Can I get them? Cool, bet. I'm like, I done seen you on 2 different shows. The hell going on over here? Oh yeah, the Cash App is Carcino for those who want to donate and show support to the page. No, it wasn't really leaked. The dude told it himself. All of this is on the Patreon. Straight up. It is all on the Patreon. I met Floyd Mayweather back in 1995 watching a amateur fight with Nate Jones, because Nate Jones they both went to the Olympics together. Matter of fact, Nate, I'm supposed to call him right now because I think he finna gamble some. So I was able to meet a lot of people based on that relationship of me knowing Kel. And it opened up a lot of doors for me to meet a lot of different people. Because I know Floyd, that opened up some doors for a lot of other people. They didn't come introduce me like, hey, this is my guy. But because I knew of them and I didn't freak out when I met stars, because a lot of them weren't stars yet, making good, they were kids. Next video, Cino leaving Puma. I never said anything about LeBron doing that to Kobe. But there's a lot of people around the world think he knew. I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's people that do. Man, he knew. I'm like, yeah, matter of fact, hold up. If I got my keys down here, hold on. Don't go nowhere. I might have my keys down here. They should be down here. I hear them jingling. They jingling, baby. Cino get to working early. Oh, they are my keys. There they are. I might have something special for you. And I realized I didn't even need my key just now. As soon as I find them, you ever find something and realize once you find it, you don't need it? That just happened. All right. Let's go to history. I don't know if you guys can make this out. That's Kel, my cousin, Fred, all in a rap group. Getting ready to record music in my basement. And Kel is the star that's on Nickelodeon show. That's my room in the basement. And they go all the way to New York. That's them with Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson had a talk show. Brought Kel on there. That's Kel's first wife. That's my cousin and Fred, and they blowing up. Everybody tripping in the limo. These were the good old days, the good times. But this shows you a whole different world. I was always the cameraman. You know, I love to be on camera. Now, the thing is, I didn't used to date Beyonce back in the day. I just said I felt like I could have. She's not the brightest bulb in the shed. The sharpest tool in the shed, rather. You know, as far as she was being, you know, she grew up mostly housed. Remember, we met Beyonce when they first blew up. Nah, I wouldn't have, because Jay made her what she is. Like they got her. She had the tools to get there, but if you met Beyonce, she's not the type that could do something on her own. She couldn't even order food without help. You know, we just see the beauty, the talent, the singing, the dancing, and you don't really know the person. And when you meet the person, then you start to realize exactly what you're dealing with. She's an artist. Her father, she's used to being told what to do. Her father was that person, and Jay ended up coming there being that person. She has a condition. Okay, so if you want to know about that, you can go on the Patreon also. This is before Jay even thought about her. We met them when they had their first hit on the radio. They had Bills on the radio. And they got invited out to Sprite Night, and they was just so excited. And they came walking in there, and that's how everybody saw them. Well, y'all know the picture because it got Nick Cannon in it. And Nick is trying to holler at Beyonce, and we got that photo. Well, all I have to do is inform you of this. Listen, do Beyonce do a lot of interviews? She don't. You know why she don't do a lot of interviews? Figure that out for yourself. Go listen to one of her interviews. Then you start to piece it together. Oh, well, it all depends, when you're dealing with that situation. Kobe and the shoe, I told you, they already got the shoe made. Remember, I showed you here, you get an early look from the Patreon. This is Kobe's shoe, the Mambas. That was gonna be his own shoe brand. That's the look of the Mamba. The Mamba ones. Sorry about that, real TV. Um, you could put your own conspiracy theory together, but we just gave you the facts. The creator and the partner with Kobe, who's going to make these shoes, and you see the woman that's on the thumbnail with Kobe Bryant, the photo you've seen nowhere else, was from the actual meeting with Kobe Bryant, that this actually went down. Kobe was leaving Nike because I told you earlier in this video why. And on the Patreon, you get even more in detail as to why it was happening. And in about, what is it, 9, 10, 11, about 3 hours, you will have the full thing on the Patreon in about 3 hours. But that's what it looks like. Bam! I'm giving y'all an early view of the Patreon, what's on the Patreon. But that's the Mamba ones. Now, they didn't put the logo and anything on it yet. This is what they concepted from Kobe's design that he wanted. He wanted the snakeskin front. They were going to be black and white, but they're going to be black and silver. He wanted a fashionable shoe you could wear outside, even with a suit, but still play ball in. He wanted some protection around the ankle. So this had a rubber mold around it for comfort, so that it wouldn't be rubbing up against your leg or the back of your Achilles. See that snake skin in the front? Kobe wanted it to really feel like snakeskin. Seriously. He was leaving. They were scheduled to try to make a meeting with Kobe because they knew he was unhappy. He didn't like the way they did his signature brand, and they basically, played him to the left once he retired. He was disappeared. He was disappointed in you, Eric. Eric Avar, Kobe loved you, man. And of course, he was very determined with that was the people that was in charge of the design team, Eric Avar. He's in charge of all the designs of the Kobe's from I think the 5s on up. So when they did Kobe 9s, Kobe 10s, everything, Kobe stayed on. But then after Kobe retired, they changed a lot at Nike. A lot of employees were fired. New people were put in, and Kobe no longer has control the way he is because he's now in other ventures. And when a player retires, they just move on to something else, and that's what they were doing. Like, well, you're not like he's Kobe Bryant. Any new guy or whatever you bring in, LA is his. I'm gonna tell you that the world is his. He's international. This dude could speak 3 different languages. Are you kidding? In Italy alone, no athlete you're gonna get is gonna have more impact than Kobe Bryant, especially in Europe. They got dumb. Kobe didn't like the way they was handling his signature brand, and the sales weren't where they should have been. And Kobe's like, you guys are screwing up my brand. So definitely he was looking to get out, and he was serious. So he wanted his own Mamba brand like Jordan got. Jordan got his own brand. Kobe wanted his own. Nike didn't want to. Nike didn't want to commit to that, and Kobe was gonna show them like, okay, this is what you want. I walk out that door, I turn into a competitor, and you want me? You want to compete against Kobe Bryant in a shoe battle? I'm gonna put out my shoes, the Mambas, and it's done. If Kobe do that and take the Mamba brand and make those shoes, it's over. Jordan has his own brand in an extension with Nike, but Nike has total, like, basically control of a lot of operations over there, even hiring in the department. Like Michael Jordan's own kids got to work. That to me, that's insanity. That his kids got to work basically for Nike. That's why Marcus said, "I'm out." Marcus is like, "I am out. Screw that. I don't want to have to deal with nobody, no executives from Nike telling me what to do." And Michael Jordan is my daddy. Then he built this. And you trying to tell me what's what and what ain't gonna work and what should work. Nikes are just now making female Jordans. After years, Jasmine, Michael Jordan's daughter, as while she was there, they ignored her and just treated her as just Michael's daughter. She don't understand anything. She's a female, a black female. She knows what females like. Female wear Jordans too. And she was trying to let them know that. Females wear Jordans. Females wear Jordans. We need a pair of Jordans for females. And they didn't make them. Refused to make them, saying, well, we have to find the right athlete. And now they're making female Jordans, and they seeing their success from the female Jordans. And now they was like, well, we have to wait on the right athlete. It wasn't gonna probably work back then. It was gonna work. You missed out on years of making money from being stupid because you don't understand the market. Somebody who's young, black, in the hood, or not in the hood, but in the suburbia area, they know what girls want. Girls want to wear shoes like the guys like. They want to wear the Jordans. Kobe leaving to join with Shamar. That was it. You'll see a lot of it on the Patreon. Shervin put it on his Twitter yesterday. He said, I met with Kobe Bryant in late December 2019. Kobe wasn't happy with Nike and was going to leave it in 2020. Kobe was going to start Mamba, a shoe company owned by players. He passed away weeks later. What he was about to do in business was going to eclipse his sports career. Quote unquote, by the partner of Kobe Bryant into the shoe business. So Sino did not make this up. This is quote unquote from him, who showed you the design of the shoes. I'm at the point now, I don't know if I'm ever going to buy a pair of Nikes. I'm really on the fence. I'm like, I don't even want to buy a pair of Nikes no more. I'm on the fence for real. I'm really on the fence right now. I'm like, I don't know if I'm buying y'all shoes at all. I might be out. I might be done. All Nike stuff might be gone. I'm serious. I'm dead serious, man. I'm looking at all these Nike stuff I got. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go cop the Currys. I was supposed to be at Jenny's today. I was staying up for that. Now I can go to bed. Thanks, Jenny. Well, she said the weather's bad out there. I'm like, what's going on outside? In case you guys are new and didn't get here, here's what that shoe looked like. We'll have more on this on the Patreon. This is from the Patreon, actually. But I could see it because this is what Kobe's first shoe was going to look like. This is before the logo got put on it. And everything else, this is the design. The Mamba ones. You said Bron stole the design. When has he got a shoe that look like that? Dog, there was no finals. Remember, I showed you guys last night my Adidas collection and how I gotten into the Reebok world and how I had the first pair of questions like on the first release before they ever even touched. Reebok made sure I had some. Boom. See no questions. All I wore was Adidas for 4 years straight. I never was a big Nike head. I had an Adidas ring, Adidas cologne, Adidas underwear, everything Adidas that you didn't even think they made, I had it. Look at that, Adidas cologne, baby. Bam. My Adidas watch to go with it. I was matching every day. So when the AI questions hit, I was there. So when Master P was going, they're going to try to purchase it, and I said, well, that's good because Reebok, they fell out of. They always was lacking in the urban market because they didn't have anyone in the urban market in their office that understood what was happening in the streets. Then they tried to pivot to hip hop, and they went and got 50 Cent and Jay-Z. And then after 2, 3 years, that faded out. And then I think they tried to come with, didn't Pharrell have some shoes or something like that? Masterpiece sneakers, those were Converse. That was Converse mess. So in 2005, they went and they got bought out by Adidas. Adidas bought them out. But I came up with the slogan for Reebok when I met with the director of sales. Right. So this is before they even met. This is in the 90s. When I met with the director of boxing, boxing, the director, the director of marketing and sales. When I met with him in Chicago, he saw me in the Adidas rep was making sure I had Adidas gear because I'm buying it right out of the store. This when they had Foot Action. I don't know if y'all remember that store, Foot Action. I don't know if they're even around anymore. Oh no, Reebok was known for AI. AI blew it through the roof. Shaq, the one that got them really on the map, and then AI took it to another planet. So they wanted to poach me basically for my knowledge. I was young, I didn't know no better. And I told you, yeah, and I came up with a slogan. I was like, Adidas, they got a slogan that they didn't even create. That all day I dream about sex. You know, somebody created that for them. And I was like, y'all need a slogan like that y'all can market, that you can create for yourselves. And he was like, that's a good idea. And they was trying to think of something, and I came up with it. I drew this like it was spray point, like airbrushed on the wall, the brick wall, had it on the arts and craft board, and they saw it. That was it. And I had Reebok, real endurance, even better on kids. And they loved it. And then all of a sudden, people started talking money, and they didn't love it no more. He said somebody really asked what foot action is. I know, right? That make you feel super old. Man, I still love the Crazy Eights. That was to me, that's still Kobe best shoe. Them Crazy Eights. Did they come out with some with Laker colors? Because I never saw them. Kobe was the only one I seen that had Laker colors. Because they came out later. Because I know the black and whites and the blue and whites. I had both, and they went with my Adidas outfit. Because all I wore was Adidas. Oh, I'll tell you about the time I told Tark to recruit Larry Johnson. Oh, it was very easy. He was chewing on a towel. He was, I don't know who I should get, Cena, who I should get. And I'm like, that Larry Johnson dude, he a beast. You need somebody who can be a dog down there. Plus, he got a nice soft jump shot. Got some touch on it. You can develop them. I hope you're right. Yeah, I hit him up on Twitter and told him to do it. For people who think that's real, that is just me joking. There was no Twitter or nothing. It wasn't even text phones. You can even text. No sales. Forget that. All right, we almost at 200 likes. Let's go. I'm trying to think right now. Who's the game that was played last night? The Bulls won me some money because they debuted the Nike, the Jordan logo on the Chicago Bulls. They went back to the pinstripes, but they had the Chicago with the red, black pinstripes. So I knew people were going to do that. Trying to think. Who was the man? I can't even remember. The game was last night. I can't even remember. Damn, it's messed up. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, we got to get these bets in tonight. All the games are tonight. I did not say ESPN NBA games. Talking college football. Now I know what I picked. Oh yeah, my Cash App is Carcino. You want to support the page? Westbrook got his triple double. You're right. It is. It's T. Woods. That was the truest statement the world ever said. There is no LeBron James versus Kobe. He needs. Mm-hmm. Straight up. We're not even gonna reply with a response for that. Any Laker fan know that that's retarded. Yeah. So if you VIP on the Patreon, it's already coming out. You got about 2 hours left before it hits, and then you guys can see it from there. Everybody's blaming Nike and they blaming LeBron. They blaming LeBron like LeBron was on the helicopter or something. I'm like, no. LeBron knew. Say no, you know he knew. I'm like, people are telling me that. I'm like, I would never put that on another human being, man. That's just like, no, I couldn't. I would have to have earth shaking proof. I have to show another video showing off his post move. I might. Richie, you get a lifetime for that money, boy. You get stuff that the world has never seen before in life. See, everybody over there knew about the new coronavirus before anybody else did. Now everybody talking about it. Did we take the over? Texas and Colorado? Damn. Wait a minute. I think we bet Colorado. Hold on. I didn't like that. They got blown out the water. Damn. I'm losing money over here. I'm over here gambling.